Good morning.
Good morning, Wayne. We'll see you right here at this debate desk in about 2 hours, as always, on Friday. But now it's time to skip the BS. Time for Undisputed. Time for Super Bowl predictions. Keyshawn Johnson is with me right here at this desk. Michael Irvin joins us live from Las Vegas, where he stayed in his room all night long last night preparing for Undisputed. Morning to Playmaker. You look good,
hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Skip, Skip, I'm fresh, Skip. I'm fresh. I'm ready to go. Like you said, I studied all night long. Looking forward to being with you guys this morning.
Yeah, way to go. You sound good. You look good. Now we'll see just how good you are. Would you kick us off, please? Who wins and what's the score?
Man, I'm so excited, too, guys. Let me tell you first, let me give you a little bit of this. What an incredible NFL honors last night here in Las Vegas, man. The venue that they set up in, that vision, that scenery, right there on the stage. It was absolutely, absolutely incredible, guys. And we'll talk about that as the show goes on.
Yep.
Right. We'll talk about that. But here, that's why I stayed in the room last night, Skip. I was vexed again, Skip. After I left the honors, I got back to the room, like you said, and I studied, put my nose in the book, and I said, I got to figure this thing out. Right? I got to figure this thing out. Everybody was out partying. I said, no.
Yeah, not you.
No, we got serious business at hand right now. So this is how I saw this. I first said to myself, no way, Michael. No way. Patrick Mahomes has kicked you in the tail, bam, bam, this whole playoffs, because I picked against him every time. And I said, there's no way Patrick Mahomes can do this again against this team. And I came to my mind, I said, you know what? I can't believe I'm going to do this again. I can't believe that I got to do this again. This speaks to the greatness of Patrick Mahomes. It really does, because I'm vexed even picking him. I always talk to you guys about the difference between skill and will in this. When I look at the skill, San Francisco should win this game. But 1-5 right there, the will of that man, the will of what Travis Kelce has, what they did in the last couple weeks, makes me want to go and say, no, I got to pick Kansas City. But I am taking the San Francisco 49ers 28-24 to win this game. And let me tell you why I'm saying it. Because I believe Chiefs will jump out and put some points on the board, just like they did against the Baltimore Ravens. But I believe they may wear down a little bit towards the end of that game. Baltimore wasn't able to make the right play. You know what I should say? I should say it this way. Lamar Jackson, who won MVP last night, I watched him, and he had a great year, wasn't able at the right time to be a great game manager. I've said sometimes when he sat back, he sat in the pocket too long. A great game manager, as we spoke on the other day, knows when I got to go and try to get this first down. He didn't do it. Brock Purdy will. I know it sounds crazy to think the last pick in the draft beating the best quarterback our eye gate has ever seen, but I'm taking the 49ers 28-24. Patrick Mahomes kicked my butt all playoffs. I'm going to see what happens here.
Michael, it sounds like your emotions are very mixed on this pick.
And let me tell you why, Skip, because I got two dudes that I love more than anything. You guys hear me talk about them. That's Deebo Samuel on San Fran, and that's Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is my dude just because of the way he treated Michael II, my son, when he was younger. So I pull for both of those guys, but here I'm just edging out with San Fran, just edging slightly.
Yeah, I think Kyle Shanahan comes up short again, and now he starts to get into that, non-winning coach, Super Bowl, multiple category.
So you're going...
I'm Kansas City 29-24. Close game, but in
that's
the
what
end,
I was worried about, Keith. That's what I was worried. You're right, Keith, because that can get scary. If you go down 17, do you start saying, oh, here we go again?
Yeah, and I don't know that they'll ever go down 17. But I think in the end, they lose the football game to Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is chasing something as a player. And I think the rest of his team understands that. He's chasing Tom Brady and Joe Montana. He's trying to keep that conversation going right now. That conversation, if he lost, wouldn't die, but it wouldn't be as aggressive, Skip, as it would if he wins.
Yep.
It becomes really aggressive if he wins this football game. And when you think about it, they've been favored in every single game this season, okay, except this game right here, in the last game, in the game before that. But when you look at it, they've been favored, regardless of what people may say, because they got number 15. And when you have a guy like number 15 on your side going up against Mr. Irrelevant, I surely would think that Patrick Mahomes is not trying to lose to Brock Purdy. He's just not. Whether he plays, or whether he throws for 300 or 200, he's just not simply trying to lose this football game. Travis Kelce is looking across the field at another great tight end in Kittle. He wants to outperform him. Rashee Rice wants to show the world that they made a mistake taking him in the second round, that he belongs with the top dogs. He's played phenomenal in the playoffs as a young rookie wide receiver. Now we'll see if he can continue this in the Super Bowl. Now when you talk about defensively, we know that the Kansas City Chiefs defense has been pretty stout all year long. I mean, they've been pretty good. Kansas City is here, not necessarily because of Patrick Mahomes. I would give more credit because of the defense.
Agreed.
And Chris Jones and company.
Yep.
But Patrick Mahomes has added something to it when he's gotten away from being the game manager. Now that all of a sudden he has become, he knows that he can push the football down the field because he has that in his back pocket. He doesn't use it nearly as much as he used to in the beginning of his career. And once they lost Tyreek Hill, he learned how to change his game to some degree. By dinking and dunking and being patient and understanding, studying up on Tom Brady and some of the quarterbacks like a Drew Brees, guys that took the intermediate routes and advanced their teams into the end zone to score points. So when I look at it as a whole, better coach is Andy Reid, in my opinion, and I like Kyle Shanahan. But the better coach is Andy Reid, period. He's just a better coach. I understand Kyle Shanahan has this aura about him being the best play caller in the National Football League.
He does.
Well, that dude on the sideline, Big Red, I mean, how did he lose? How did he lose that?
Right.
Because once upon a time, he was the best play caller in the National Football League.
He was.
And now, all of a sudden, Skip, he's in the Super Bowl again, and now they're saying that the other guy's the best play caller. So you got all these different matchups. Kansas City 29, 49ers 24.
By the way, Keyshawn,
this is interesting.
While Michael stayed in his room last night, your voice indicates to me you might have stayed out late here in L.A. Is that?
Well, no, that's not. You know what? That's not really true. But you are correct in some fashion. You are correct in some fashion, Skip. I left the building at 5 p.m. yesterday.
Oh, you had a long day.
A long day of constantly.
Talk.
Yeah.
Because you did
podcasts, put them in the can, and
you did
our
two
show.
podcasts. Yeah.
Two podcasts.
You working hard.
Yeah, I was working.
he was working
Two
hard.
and a half hours with you. Then I did Fox LA Today morning show. I mean, I'm just my voice, man.
Okay, I got it.
I'm working.
You get a pass on yesterday. Okay, allow me to say,
Oh, my gosh.
I may come off as hypocritical here because I have the score close, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'll talk myself into a wider margin. I got a little lower score than you guys. I got it 24-22. But I also will tell you, this for me, unlike what Michael was going through, is a very easy pick. And again, I got a close score, but I got it easy. It's an obvious pick to me. I'm going to go 24-22 Kansas City. I'm with Keyshawn. I'm going to go down your path, but I'm going to go 120 miles an hour down your path. Because if I'm weighing Mr. Irrelevant and what some people are already calling the greatest quarterback of all time, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy. Well, I mean, if you just start there, you just say, as Keyshawn just did, it's Patrick Mahomes. Michael made the point. It's hard to bet against that guy because he has been that guy in these games. So better quarterback, obviously Kansas City. Better, hotter defense is obviously Kansas City's. Better pass catcher on the field, best pass catcher on the field. Well, obviously it's Kansas City's. Better kicker. And it could, my score indicates it's going to come down to a field goal. Well, Harrison Butker's played in 18 playoff games, and I look at his numbers, and he's 28 of 32. He's been really clutch in the postseason. And the other team's got a rookie kicker who's played in 2 playoff games, and he's 3 of 5 from field goal range and is capable of missing a big win in this game. Wouldn't you agree? Then I keep going, better defensive player, the best defensive player on the field. I'm sorry, I respect San Francisco's pass rush, but it's Chris Jones. And Karlaftis doesn't get enough credit because every time I look up, he's in the middle of something in somebody's backfield. And I'm saying all the key things that come down to coach, you just mentioned it. The better coach, the better big game coach is clearly Big Red, right? I mean, how can you not say that? And I love Kyle too, but man, he's had a couple of disasters on his resume, and for his sake, I hope that he could pull this off so he doesn't have a third disaster, a third blown lead in a big game. And then we get down to defensive coordinators, and I especially love what Steve Wilkes did at Carolina last year. I thought he was really good and deserved that job. But if I'm going better big game defensive coordinator after what I watched Spags do to Tom Brady in the first Eli Super Bowl and what I've watched him do in these playoff games, I'm going Spags all day and all night. So now help me out on this. What did we just see in both teams' 2 previous games? Well, let's start with Kansas City. What happened? They just went on the road to Buffalo as an underdog and won. Yep. And then when I least expected it, I think most of us least expected it, they went on the road as an underdog to Baltimore, and they won it both ways. The offense won the first half, and the defense won the second half, and I was highly impressed. What did we just see from San Francisco? They were at home for both playoff games as the 1 seed, and they really struggled in both games.
They should have never made it to the NFC Championship.
Thank you. They struggled in the first game against the youngest team in the NFL, and then they struggled in the second game against the team that came in 23rd in points allowed on defense. And they struggled, and I'm looking at the scores of these games, and they were against Green Bay, they're down 3-0 and 13-7 and 21-14 and 21-17 and pulled it out in the end, thanks to Brock Purdy. I give him that. And then against Detroit, we all know they're down 24-7 at halftime, and they roared back, thanks in large part to Brock Purdy. I give him that. But I'm saying hold on just a second, because the San Francisco defense against Green Bay allowed 136 rush yards. Against Detroit, they allowed 182 rush yards. Don't you think that Kansas City, don't you think Pacheco and Edwards-Helaire can get 120-ish?
Well, they probably can, but you know, I don't even look at.
Y'all, wait, because I want to address that. I want to address some of what all of you have said here and what you guys have shared. And I want to start off with what Key talked about. Key, you started talking about Big Red, and I love Andy Reid. You guys know how much I talk about Andy Reid and all praise upon him. But the reality is Big Red was Kyle Shanahan prior to 1-5 setting foot on the land. You need me to say that again?
But 1-5
Big Red, was Kyle Shanahan. Yeah. Big Red was losing in these games before 1-5 got there. What did 1-5 bring? What did 1-5 bring? That's Patrick Mahomes. What did he bring? He brought an understanding of a great game manager, making the plays that you need to make in the crucial moment. That Big Red never had. Donovan McNabb made great plays, but didn't make those plays in the crucial moment to win Super Bowls. But now 1-5 he does. Now, go on the other side with Kyle Shanahan. What quarterback did he have that can make the right decision, shoulders up, in crucial games to help him win those Super Bowls? He has never had one of them. Brock Purdy is his first of them. Skip, you just gave Brock Purdy credit for the comebacks that he had. You know what it takes to make comebacks? It takes steady, progressive plays. Every play count, every play matter, and Brock Purdy has shown an ability to do that with his legs and, more than anything, with his head. He's making the right decisions. Who else makes the right decisions? Who else always makes the right decisions? The guy that Brock Purdy reminds you of a little bit sometimes, and that's Tom Brady. And who beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs? that would be Tom Brady, a decision maker, a guy that's playing shoulders up, not always to Josh Allen, to Lamar Jackson, and all those other talented guys, shoulders down. I rest my case on that and can yield the floor to the next man.
Go, Michael, go to sleep, okay? Because what you just said.
What do you mean?
Because
what do you mean? What I'm telling you is ultimately the game is going to come down to who made the right decision in critical situations. And we talked about the Lamar Jackson. We talked about the Josh Allens. Those are physical players that play a game shoulders down, and they didn't make the right decisions. This dude, that's all he does. I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes doesn't. I'm just saying that's his gift. Give it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know how you don't see that.
I never said I didn't see it. But all I said was the Kansas City Chiefs was going to win 29-24. And that's all I said. I didn't discredit Brock Purdy. I said the better coach in my opinion, the better in-game coach, decision-making coach is Andy Reid.
Right now. Since he got 1-5. And now I'm saying Shanahan got Brock Purdy. He has an extension of himself on the field. That's what Andy Reid loves about Patrick Mahomes.
Mr. Michael Irvin.
Yes.
Can I please explain to you? Okay, because you violently attacked me for saying. You violently attacked me aggressively for saying that Andy Reid was the better coach. Now, Skip, my mind, I got one of the minds I can't think too fast. Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl played who?
Last year?
No, when Andy Reid was the coach.
Oh, they played that guy. They played the guy.
The guy, right?
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Right. Yeah.
They played Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right.
I ain't never made the mistake to think that Brock Purdy was no damn Tom Brady. I'm not gonna play that game.
Thank you.
I'm not getting ready to do that. Just because he plays shoulders up and all that, I'm not gonna do that. That's what I'm not gonna do. Okay? On top of that, I've never,
Go ahead.
as long as I've been watching Andy Reid, lose a game 24-7, when they up 24-7 at halftime in the divisional round, or better yet, in the NFC Championship game. I've never watched that. And I don't think in the Super Bowl, what was that score in Atlanta when Kyle Shanahan was calling the plays? What was that score?
28-3.
I never saw Big Red in the Super Bowl up 28-3, calling plays and lose, Michael Irvin. So when I say the better coach, I'm talking about decisions. He ain't nowhere in the world Andy Reid is going to lose a game in an important game in a championship like Dan Campbell, up 24-7, should have been up 28-7 at halftime, 150 yards on the ground in the first half, and 8 carries in the second half. I just can't see Andy Reid ever doing that. I'm not taking anything away from Kyle Shanahan. As you aggressively attacked me, I don't understand it. Brock Purdy is good. Brock Purdy is phenomenal. I just want you to understand that the other guy in 15 is better.
He's bad man.
Is better than that guy in 13. That's all I'm trying to say.
I concur.
Okay?
I concur.
So I stand down, Skip, because I don't want to be viciously attacked anymore. I'm done.
Okay, you're done?
Skip, go ahead.
Okay, Michael, I want to quickly remind you by showing you 2 plays, passes that left the hand of one Brock Purdy in the 2 previous games. The first one against Green Bay, that could have decided a different winner of the football game and a different Super Bowl opponent.
All you got to do is catch it.
Yeah, all you have to do, Darnell Savage, you caught the one Dak threw you.
Oh.
I mean, is he still running with that? I think so.
Be a hero.
I think so.
Just be a hero.
That would have put them up 10-0, and it could have really changed.
Don't be scared to be great.
Yeah. Oh, he throws the ball on the turf. And then allow me to show you another one that occurred early in the third quarter as they were down 24-10 at this point to the Detroit Lions at home. And Brock Purdy goes bombs away to Ayuk, but it's a little overthrown, and it hits the DB in the face mask and caroms to Ayuk for a gain down to the 4-yard line that could have been picked or could have just been incomplete, for that matter, and could have changed the fate and outcome of the game. So he got away with those. My prediction is he won't get away with those against Kansas City's defense. It is way more opportunistic because it's just hot right now. You throw them those two balls, I promise you they'll catch those two balls in this game on this stage. Do you disagree or agree, Michael Irvin?
No. I concur with those conclusions on those plays, but I also say we can do that all day. There are certain plays they made. You can say, well, okay, they could have made this, they could have done that. The reality is they made the comeback. The reality is the 49ers down, they made the comeback.
They did.
Yes.
And when I look at the other, when I look on the other side now, absolutely 1-5. They started that last game. They were doing great, but that second half they did nothing. They did nothing. Once the few tricks out of the bag, once the few tricks got out of the bag, and it got man to man, hand to hand, let's battle each other, they could not move the football up and down the field. They couldn't move the football
against
at all. Like
the best defense in the NFL.
Right.
Okay.
And the 49ers, listen, okay, 49ers have a pretty good defense. So I'm expecting that. And the 49ers have a pretty good offense that can move the ball. I'm not saying Brock Purdy's going to outdo Patrick Mahomes. I got Christian McCaffrey winning the MVP, just like he won those trophies last night. He's going to win the MVP. He's going to run the football, and Brock Purdy's going to make the play down the stretch, making the right decision to win the game. That's how I got it playing out. I'm not saying they're going to go in an air raid contest against the greatest quarterback our eyes have ever seen. Not the tally yet, not the Super Bowl championship. But no, I don't see him trying to do that. But I do see San Fran being more physical than any of the teams that Kansas City has faced. And say what you will about the rushing yards that San Fran is giving up. Kansas City ain't a physical team. Green Bay is a pretty physical team. Detroit is a pretty physical team. Kansas City has Pacheco who runs hard, but he's not a very physical team. And let's see how much they want to hit
Skip,
Sunday.
Skip and Michael, my little birdie in Kansas City told me the mission was to get up on Baltimore. That was the mission, was to get up. To get up on Baltimore because they did not feel that Baltimore could come from behind. So I understand
to make the right decisions in the second half to win the game. They didn't feel. You said what I said.
The head coach made the decision to let his team know we got to play fast and get up early because they didn't feel that Baltimore's style of offense could come from behind.
They were correct.
Secondly, Patrick Mahomes, just so that you know, is 3-0 against the San Francisco 49ers in his career. Last year, he hung 44 on them.
He did.
Okay, different defensive coordinator, but same players. He hung 44 on them, just so that you know.
Brady. Right.
Just so that you know.
Brady, right?
He ain't playing Tom Brady. Are you crazy?
Tom Brady.
He ain't playing no damn Tom Brady. Tom Brady gonna be in a box somewhere watching a game with his friends. Are you crazy?
I'm just saying. He lost to the player that plays shoulders up, and this is the player that plays shoulders up.
Okay.
Right, this is the smart
I want to see on Monday when the shoulders are down what you say.
All right. And by the way, speaking of somebody up in a box, allow me to throw this all out just to end this discussion. You can scoff if you want, because I scoffed at the start of the year. I was skeptical of the Taylor Swift connection with Travis Kelce. I thought she was just too big. So big that it would cause a distraction of a downfall through the year for Travis and his team, and the opposite turned out happening. And I just want to emphasize, I think the momentum she has created, they have created together, is going to be a factor. It's why this will probably, almost certainly, be the most watched Super Bowl ever, as we started this discussion with. And I believe that Travis just lights up for her. I'm still not quite sure she's going to make it back. There's some skepticism about that, but I think she will. And if she is, he loves to show off and show out for her in the greatest way, and I think he will be extremely motivated.
They're just friends, man. No, there is no
friends.
I haven't. They haven't told me they girlfriend, boyfriend.
Really?
He just friends.
I don't know. That's not what they look like on the field.
But he never said this my girlfriend. She never said it's my boyfriend. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm with Skip on this. I'm with Skip on this one, man. That's something else.
Okay. Up next, we got to talk about last night. Michael was all over this one. Lamar's now the youngest ever to win 2 MVPs, but what do we think of his overall career so far? We discuss next. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.